What's up, y'all? Today is the Lord's Day, and it's leg day today, which I don't mind because I'm allowed to do like RDLs, which is one of my more favorite lifts now, to be honest, because I used to like doing deadlifts, but I used to get more injured on doing deadlifts and whatnot, so this just kind of replaces that feeling of doing them again and stuff. So, and it also builds my spinal erectors, which allows me to do more barbell rowing and stuff. And you know, leg day, the intensity, I'm a guy who likes sweating a lot, and in like the intense part, and every leg day it's that exact thing, so I don't mind it. But before we get in there, I want to talk to you guys about something. So as I was thinking, you know, just I'm thinking to myself, whatnot, it's freezing in this car too. So I was kind of thinking to myself, you know, just like kind of what I wanted to talk about, but also just thinking to myself, the most perfect way I can think about telling you guys how to be more disciplined and, you know, kind of just, you know, become more of a regular at the gym or something. The best thing I can describe it is this, right? Let's say your house, right? Let's say you have a house in this day and age. I know it's really hard to, but you have your own house. All right, not even that. Let's just go your room for the most basic, simple thing. Let's say this. You're pretty good at upkeep in your room, right? But, you know, some days or weeks already you slack a little bit and you're like, okay, I'm going to make Sunday the day where I do everything. I deep clean, you know, whatnot. You know, pick up all the stuff off my floor, take out my trash, you know, whatever. Well, yeah, right? Sunday, it's a great day. It's like almost like a recovery day. It's like a rehab day because it's usually a work off. You know, usually sometimes it's your rest day. Whatever not, right? But what is 100% guaranteed that you're really going to do all that on Sunday? It's not 100% guaranteed, right? I mean, sure, more likely than not, if you see that stuff pile up, you'll want to get rid of it or just clean it. Or whatever the case may be, right? But same goes with everything else. And I'm going to use a gym example. Let's say this. You're in the gym. You say, okay, I'm going to make 2 days out of the week where I actually go and put some work in. What are you doing the rest of the days? Are you just not really wanting to put effort in? Are you just scared to put effort in? What's going on? And what makes you really think that you're really going to go that intense on those 2 days? Because you're so used to not really going that hard. So what makes you think that you're mentally going to change and want to do better and want to do more? More likely than not, you're probably going to stay at the same progress because, you know, let's say you say you're going to work out really hard the 2 days. Let's say 1 week, you only work out hard one day a week like that. Right? And then it becomes a 0 day thing. What I'm trying to say is this. If you do not build habits, positive habits, to do the right thing, right? And you expect yourself to be motivated to do this on this one big day, chances are you're probably not going to be super motivated to do that because your routine and your habits are already bad. I mean, and everybody knows this, bad habits create bad things and bad situations for yourself. That could be physically, mentally, spiritually, and all those go hand in hand with each other. If you're mentally not happy, you're probably physically not well. Same with physically not well. If your body's not physically well, you're definitely not mentally well. More times than not, a lot of people who are very mentally upset, or, you know, and it's not always the case, but a lot of times they're usually physically, you know, not the best, right? And that's not to say if you're physically the best, you're going to be 100% mentally good, right? That's not the case at all, but it will help. Same with everything else in life. Going back to the room thing. Let's say you kept up with it every week. You don't need a deep clean. You don't need to like dust it or anything, but you need to, you know, pick up your clothes if they're on the floor, you know, do some laundry if you have it. If you do those things, you keep up, well, for one, you don't have to do the big, do it all on one day type of thing. And two, you're more likely going to have a more mental kind of spacious mind. You're able to think better, you know, because like I've said in the past, your environment matters so much. And that even means your body, whatever or not. If you're looking in the mirror every day and you hate what you see, you're not going to be happy, right? Same thing with, your room. If your room is messy, there's stuff all over the floor, bottles, clothes, trash, whatever or not, you're more likely going to be upset about it, and then that's going to interrupt whatever thinking. Maybe you're a different type of person than me, right? But I know for myself, if something is bothering me and I don't fix it, it's going to keep bothering me, and it's going to disrupt my whole life. Because I know in the back of my head how I work, and I don't like to, be in a bad space or a bad mindset, because that doesn't really benefit anything. I mean, sometimes in life, when shit doesn't work out well in the gym, I can push myself even harder because I'm like, gosh, this is really pissing me off. But when it's just upsetting, but it's not that big of a deal, it's like, man, what am I doing? I'm just kind of messing up, right? I could really fix that easily, and then it just turns into unmotivation, right? And a lot of it is discipline, right? At the end of the day, motivation is going to be one thing, but discipline is a whole nother thing, right? But let's say this, you have discipline, but you also have motivation. Dude, that's a perfect recipe. It's a hard recipe to come by because oftentimes I'm not really, motivated to do a lot of things. Not to say I'm not happy to do them or I don't feel, results afterwards. But like in the meantime, before the gym sometimes, I'm not always, super excited to go do this. Or I'm like, and part of it's because of my intensity, right? I'm like, man, I'm really going to push myself again. But afterwards or during it, I'm going to be hyped from doing it, or I'm going to be happy I did, right? Because that's why I'm disciplined, because I know there's a benefit to doing this. Even if I'm not thinking it, because I don't really think about, like, why I'm going to the gym anymore. I mean, obviously, I'm competing someday. I want a better looking body. It's going to make me feel mentally better. I'm not thinking of those things before, but I know subconsciously in the back of my head that those things are apparent. Same thing with everything else. You may not be thinking that your room is, you may be seeing your room is messy, and you may not be thinking, I need to get this done. Subconsciously, your brain really wants you to, and it's going to make you super chaotic, and you won't even realize it, So, that's my little wisdom right now. We're going to get in this gym, hit some legs, and I'm going to see you guys in a second. Wow. All right, so the first move we're going to be hitting is some RDLs. Just really good for the hamstrings and spinal erectors, which are pretty much just like that line-looking part in the middle of your back that goes all the way up and down throughout your back. And you're going to hit your lower back. It's just a little compound movement, but train heavy for these. Make sure you go slow on the way down, control the weight on the way up. Train as hard as you can, and go to failure, y'all. And make sure you're putting the bars close to your ankles as you can, like the front of your legs as you can. Now we're going to be doing leg press. I did 10 reps this set and then 6 the next set because I just got a little heavier. I just put some weights on the back. But make sure you go slow on the way down and explode on the way up. That's how you get the most activation in your quads. And then that way you get a good stretch and a good squeeze at the top. And I trained 2 sets. And like I said, just again, I really prioritize going slow on the way down as much as I can.
You got it.
Now we're just going to be working on our calves now. Pretty much, you don't need to be super duper controlled with these, but make sure you are controlling it to a certain degree where the weight's not controlling you. Squeeze to the top. We're going to be training a lot of reps here. I just did about 15, I think, on this set. And yeah, go to failure. And then that's pretty much it, y'all. Get a good stretch at the bottom. I also did 4 sets of this today. Now for the final movement of the day, we're just going to be burning out the quads as much as we can. So we're going to be doing this to get the erectors on the quads, which is that third middle kind of group, part of your quads. Just a really good exercise to really like emphasize that. You can do it on leg extensions, but today I didn't do those. So this was really just to help, get that. And make sure when you're doing it, you're not pulling yourself back up. You're almost just like squatting at that angle. Yo, we're out. Gotta say, pretty decent lift for the most part. Went pretty heavy on leg press. Found out I can break the machine pretty much, so I'm doing max stack, right, plus an additional whatever, because I did max stack 10 reps, pretty easy, right? And then I did an additional 2 plates on the back, but I didn't realize they were getting stuck on the machine. So at a certain point, they would just stop working. And like, no matter how much force you put into it, and like with 2 spotters, we tried to push it up. We got it, but it was like, what the fuck? Because it wasn't just like 1,000 pounds plus of force or whatever. It was legit like whatever. It was getting stuck on the machine. It was like breaking the machine. Scraped it even a little bit. So, but overall, good lift today. Trained pretty heavy on those lifts. I should have been more careful on hamstring RDLs. I didn't get injured or anything, but only because, like, below my belt, I felt like a little pain, like a pinch. Not like a pinch where the belt was pinching my skin or anything, but like a little pain right above my groin on the right side a little bit, like a sharp pain kind of ish thing. So I just gotta be more careful. Maybe it's the belt or something, but I don't know. But overall than that, pretty good lift today. Sissy squats at the end felt really good. Didn't have any knee pain doing those or anything like that. So, but yeah, just, I warmed up properly and everything. The warm up, I didn't do any abs today. So, I might do them when I get back. I probably won't though, just because I want to chill with my lady tonight. But, I'd say if you are a guy that skips on abs every now and then, maybe not even out now and then. If you don't hit abs that frequently, I don't think you're the worst gym goer ever. I skip abs every now and then. I haven't skipped them in a little bit because I usually just do them on leg days, and then sometimes I'll do them on like a pack or chest day every now and then, just to hit them a little bit extra, because they're the most unfrequent thing I hit in all the muscle groups. I still recommend doing them, though, if you want to have abs, like good abs, because they're still muscle at the end of the day. So if you're not doing them, they're not gonna pop out as much. So, especially if you're a guy who's bulking or, whatever not, or just isn't as lean as he used to be or something, and you're not training abs, they're not going to be looking as good, because you have more body fat, whatever not. So, it's not entirely a bad thing to skip every now and then, but I recommend them at least doing them once a week. That's all I say. I don't say do them 6, 5, 7 times a week now. I'd say try to hit them 3 times a week if you can. But bare minimum, try once, right? Because honestly, abs aren't even, the least fun thing in the world ever, I think. I'd say probably the least fun thing to train. I'm trying to think. Like, because honestly, I'm not like, I don't know. I don't think there's any lift that's unfun, really. There's certain lifts that are unfun, but like certain muscle groups, like entire muscle groups, I don't think there's any unfun muscle groups. Like, there's more unfun ones than others, but like I can't really think of it, because I would say maybe like, there's like, if you put like the pump involved with it, and say the shoulders, but like if you get a shoulder pump, dude, it's one of the best things ever. Chest is like one of the best pumps. Any kind of pump is great. Except the ones that make your like your like, it makes your physique kind of look less like diced and like have less definitions, like hamstrings. If it's any of the leg kind of pumps, if you get a leg pump or anything, your legs honestly will look worse, which is the most weird thing. You would think if you get a pump, they're gonna be looking great. Now, like if you're really lean, you get like a quad pump, dude, your leg veins will pop out, but I'm gonna leave that there. But I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Good night, actually. So I'll see y'all guys tomorrow for chest and tricep. Goodbye.